All right.
Hello, hello, hello.
Let's see.
This is Certified Africa. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Kristen Tellis-Quay.
And I'm Ni Amakwe.
And we are the founders of Certified Africa. Certified Africa is a travel and lifestyle company that connects the African diaspora to the continent for culture, business, and investment opportunities. And so today we're going to be talking about a topic that I often see in chat rooms whenever people discuss Africa. A lot of times there is discourse of, let's move back to Africa. What do people think about that? And one of the comments that I see the most is, I'm not leaving America. My ancestors built America. And, we're going to talk about that topic today.
Okay. So that's beautiful. It's great to have you all on today to share this topic with. So the idea of ancestors building. So you want to read a comment?
Yeah, we can read the comments that I saw. That kind of sparked, us wanting to come and talk about this. So the comment said, generations of my ancestors were forced to give their blood, sweat, and toil to this country. I'll be darned if I leave that for the oppressors to enjoy. I will enjoy the fruit of my and my ancestors' labor.
Okay, it looks simple. And this very comment cuts across, like, a lot of people actually make these comments in all these chats, that you find yourself in. The idea of, ancestors fighting, of course, for America and helping build America. And then, they'll be very silly to leave it to Africa and go to Africa in that respect. That's how they put it. Now, so they'll be in America to enjoy the fruit, of their labor and their ancestors' labor, which is a valid point. No fight with that. Now, however, we just want to touch on that a little bit because we feel like there has to be a little bit of, caution when we're dealing with this, when somebody's passing such comments. Now, first of all, there are two things that I picked from this very comment, which we'll touch on. The first part has to do with the fact that, you live in America to Africa for the oppressor to enjoy, okay? And then for the oppressor to enjoy the fruit, if you like, of your labor. And the second piece is you being here so you can be able to enjoy the fruit of your labor, your ancestors' labor. Those are the two things that I can highlight from these comments that this person passed in the group. Now, I believe that we have to, first of all, look at the first points, the idea of leaving, America, if you decide, the idea of somebody going to Africa, because all this comes from the general move or the general momentum or enthusiasm that people have generated about going back to Africa, which has been there for some time, but now it's kind of revived and revamped, and people are really talking about it. So that's where it comes from. So the idea of people having to go back and establish some roots or go back to Africa, and of course maybe live in Africa and all of that, people look at it as you living America that has been built by your ancestors for the oppressor to enjoy. And the reason they say that is, okay, there are some fruits in America that they have to live in America to be able to enjoy those fruits. And that when they leave, they're living that for the ancestors and they're making the labor of the ancestors be in vain. Now, the first part that I like to say is that leaving America to Africa does not mean that you're abandoning, you're cutting America from your life and the life of your generations. You have access to America 24/7 at any point in time you want to make your way back to America. So that's the first thing that people who make these comments and people who listen to these comments must understand. That when we talk about moving back to Africa or going back to establish roots in Africa, does not mean that you're cutting yourself up for life from America and your generations. That if your son feels like they want to go to Harvard to study anything, they're not in a position to be able to make it back to Harvard. Because that takes us to the second piece of this comment, which has to do with living here to enjoy the fruits of your ancestors' labor. Now think about it. There are a lot of kids from Africa who are actually accessing the supposed fruits from America in America. And they don't have roots in America. They actually are based in Africa, but then they come here to enjoy the fruits and then they go back. Now, why can't we also begin to look at it in that way? That you can actually enjoy the fruits of your ancestors' labor in America. And I'm telling you, the reality is, think about it. You can live in America your entire life and never enjoy any of the actual fruits that our ancestors fought for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I mean, you can jump in at any point in time. Now, I'm looking at the idea of what exactly were some of the things that our ancestors were fighting for. If you look at history, one which is very key, I think, is freedom and peace of mind, because our ancestors were tormented so much.
Equality, freedom, justice, equality.
Exactly, they were tormented so much that they desired that after all this struggle, a time will come where people will actually be free and be able to enjoy peace of mind. Now, you can sit in America your entire life and maybe never enjoy a little bit of peace of mind. But throughout your lifetime, you can actually go live in Africa for some time. It could be 5 years, 10 years. You could even go back and forth, have a base there. And you're actually going to realize this peace of mind that your ancestors actually desired for you without giving up away being American or your access to America. Mm-hmm. You get it? And then the second leg has to do with the social amenities, like hospitals, like schools. Now, these are the things that matter, not walking on the streets of America. These are the things that matter, the things that you can actually benefit from, the banking system and things like that. So in looking at those, the things that our ancestors may have fought for, aside freedom, of course, the peace of mind to be able to live in America, you actually live in Africa and still have your kids and your generations have access to these things for you being American. And to a large extent, you may even have better access even coming from the outside than, of course, thinking you can just sit in America. And once you bring up the idea of Africa, you're doing away with that. Mm-hmm. So you can actually be in Africa, have your peace of mind, but at the same time, you or your children can access the best education in America if you want to. You can also sit in Africa, and any time, at any point in time, you feel like, okay, this very illness I have, I mean, it can be taken care of in a hospital in America. Nothing stops you as being somebody whose ancestors have fought to have good hospitals. Nothing stops you from coming here to have access to that healthcare and going back to enjoy your peace. Nothing stops you from doing that. So what we want people to understand is that you can actually live in Africa or go to Africa, establish roots in Africa, and still be able to enjoy the fruits that your ancestors fought for in Africa without losing any of it, because you can be there and access all of it if you want to. It's totally up to you. But that should not be a discouraging factor why people should say that I'm not leaving America to Africa because my ancestors have fought hard for the things here and they have to live here to be able to enjoy that. That's a wrong notion. You're looking at it with the wrong eye. Look at the bigger picture. And I'm telling you that moving back to Africa is no crime at all. It gives you a lot of peace of mind and it does not deny you from enjoying anything your ancestors fought for in America. You want to add something real quick before we leave?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I think that we just have to begin to realize that establishing roots in Africa does not leave us excluded from everything that has been done for us by our ancestors in the past. And I just want to add that it also, our ancestors are not just the ancestors that were, doing things in the past 10 to 20 years. Our ancestors are also Africans, people exactly. who were enslaved and brought here. And so you have to think like the desires and wishes of those ancestors have changed over time naturally. Like the first people who were brought here and enslaved against their will, I'm sure their desires and what they thought about and their dreams of being snatched away from home and possibly returning, I think we have to honor that as well. We can't just look at the ancestors that we personally have heard about in history. We also have to honor the ones that were forcibly taken away from home and wished and hoped and longed to return.
You go back,
yes,
find your way back. That was the whole idea of finding your way back mm-hmm. to the continent.
And so you have to honor, I feel like you honor both. You make that journey back to honor those who were forcibly taken away and wanted to return home badly and connect to culture. And you also have to honor the ones who knew that, okay, well, we don't know Africa the way that our past generation knew it. And we're here and we have to make the best of it. And we're going to fight for equality. We're going to fight for our rights here. Honor both and be a global citizen, someone who will build a global legacy. Yeah. And so, I think that those 2 points are great.
Most definitely. So if you have any ideas of moving to Africa, don't let anybody discourage you. You can go right ahead and do that. You can actually send us an email at certifiedafrica@gmail.com.
Yeah, there will actually be a link in the bottom of this video, the description of this video on YouTube, where you can click the link, fill out information, and receive a correspondence back about relocating to Africa, and also our relocating to Ghana webinar that we have. So,
all right. So
click the link.
Subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you do that. We love you so much. It's been Certified Africa. We'll come your way again. Enjoy your weekend.